community organizer, housing advocate, and a proud Londoner for over 3 years now. I'm also a proud, thank you. I'm also a proud trans woman. I'll be running in the upcoming municipal elections to represent the people of London Ward 4 and hopefully become the first transgender woman and the youngest person in London's history elected to I'm here today because trans people are under attack, despite making up only roughly 1% of the population. As of this year, there have been 740 different anti-trans bills across 42 states. 31 have thankfully failed, 22 have passed, and the rest are still in progress. Oklahoma proposed a bill to ban life-saving gender-affirming care until the age of 26. Utah banned birth certificate changes and trans people from working in any jobs that require us to be around children. Shane is right. Tennessee put forward a bill that would create a public registry of trans people who access medical care, which would include deeply personal information and put a target on our backs. It's incredibly clear what they're trying to do here. In 2023, far-right commentator Michael Knowles declared in front of CPAC, one of the largest gatherings of conservatives from across the United States, that for the good of society, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. You know what that sounds like to me? Genocide. And the Lemkin Institute, the foremost multinational institution for the study and prevention of genocide, has come to the same conclusion. Experts state that the U.S. is in the beginning to middle stages of a genocidal process against trans people. Just in the past few years, they've issued red flag alerts for the U.S., the UK, and even here in Canada for extreme anti-trans legislation. Boo Danielle Smith.
Boo Danielle Smith.
Boo Danielle Smith. All friggin' game on. All friggin' game on. Thank you. Beyond the rhetoric and even beyond the statistics, there's something that's probably incredibly obvious to all of you, and it's something that these tyrants, these billionaires, and these people at the top don't want you to think about. Above all else, trans people are people. Trans people aren't violent. Trans people aren't dangerous. We're not predatory. We're not coming for your kids. We're your neighbors. We're community members. We're workers. We have families, whether biological or chosen, and we want the best lives for them and for ourselves, just like you. We have dreams and aspirations. We all have the same basic needs. But right now, we're being scapegoated, just as immigrants are, by the incredibly wealthy, this Epstein class, so that we're divided, so that we don't realize that we have a lot more in common with each other than we do with them.
Yes, we do!
And that they're the ones making all of our lives much worse. Boo. We're worried about the wrong 1% here. They're the predators, they're the violent ones, they're the ones that have made it increasingly unaffordable to live. They're the ones who have thrown your children's and your grandchildren's lives into precarity, not trans people. It's a classic deflection. This is textbook tyranny. And friends, if we stay quiet here in Canada, if we become complacent, that cruelty doesn't stop at the border, it creeps north. Just as we're seeing it manifest itself today in Danielle Smith's Alberta, and Pierre Poilievre's Conservative Party, and slowly but surely across the country. Most recently, following the horrific shooting in Tumble Ridge, BC, right-wing reactionaries immediately rushed to pin this unimaginable tragedy on trans people. Not even 24 hours after the shooting, in which 8 people, primarily elementary school children, were killed. The families of the victims weren't even afforded the basic common decency of time to grieve before far-right extremists shamelessly used their laws to score political points in their one-sided culture war. Shame!
Shame!
In the process, they circulated a photo of someone they alleged to be the shooter. But it turned out this person was just an innocent 17-year-old trans woman living here in Ontario.
Wow.
Because of this, her mother now says that she's afraid to leave her house because of the threats to her safety that have resulted from this widespread false coverage. No tyrants means that no one gets to erase us, no one gets to eradicate us from public life, and no one gets to force us to hide in fear for our safety. Our identities are not up for debate, executive order, or Supreme Court ruling. Trans people have existed throughout all human history, across every society. We will continue to persist, and furthermore, we will thrive because our very existence is resistance to tyranny. Every single breath is a big fuck you to the fascists that would rather have us dead than come as we are. So I can speak for my entire generation, and the one that has come after me, when I say that we refuse to inherit this kingdom of hatred and fear. Young people have been subjected to unparalleled levels of economic precarity, climate anxiety, unprecedented crisis after unprecedented crisis, and now the ever-growing threat of this global, far-right, authoritarian, fascist movement to the inherent rights and dignity of all persons.
And we're sick of it!
And we're sick of it. This movement isn't just anti-Trump, it's pro-freedom, it's pro-opportunity, pro-affordability, it's pro-putting people first and not profit. We young people refuse to live under the rule of tyrants who cancel our IDs, defund social services, our healthcare, and programs aimed at equity, diversity, and inclusion in favor of militarization and war. And we unequivocally reject those who continue to sell our futures to the highest bidder.
Right on.
We the people, workers, people with disabilities, trans people, indigenous people, regardless of your race, ethnicity, religion, creed, immigration status. Whether you're Gen Z or Gen X, we declare no tyrants over our bodies, no tyrants over our future, and no tyrants whatsoever. The future belongs to the people. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. We should have drawn our red line yesterday. We should have drawn it with the genocide of the Palestinian people.
That's
We
right.
should have drawn it with colonialism and imperialism. We should have drawn it with the exploitation of the working class. We should have drawn the line far before we even had to get to this point. But the next best time to do it is today. We say no more. We must stand together in solidarity, reject division and hate, and fight back, because when we fight, we win!